on yesterday. But hey,
guys, welcome to Comic Core Friday nights. It's that time again. It's 10 p.m. It's Friday night. It's time to kick off the weekend with the Comic Core. So we got an awesome, huge panel as usual every Friday night. But first, I want to get back into this chat because we got a lot of awesome people hanging out in the chat tonight. As usual, we got Chris Barrett. He's always like second or first in these chats. So what's going on, Chris Barrett? He's like the snapper car of the Comic Core in his own words. But I love it. And oh, wait a minute. Burn it down. We got Sam Stangled Webb. What's going on, man? Always happy to see Sam. And hi, Sheila. What's going on? We got Flaming Sheila in the chat. But without further ado, we're going to get into this panel. So, Chad, what's going on, Chad? How you doing tonight?
I've been like very sad and lonely, and
we're here for you, brother.
I'm really happy.
So lonely, I can die.
I like that. But I'm happy it's Friday night. I'm hanging with the team, and we're making things happen.
Was that supposed to be an impression of me?
No. That was no. You just like made me feel like horrible.
Anti-glory equation.
Oh man, no, that was just me trying to have some kind of shtick because I don't really have anything going on in my life.
Oh.
All right.
You sure you're not doing an impression of me?
We got Elvis Presley himself. JD, what's going on, JD? How you doing?
Good. Good seeing everybody out there. Thank you very much. Look at this beautiful panel right now. And Chad. It's very nice. Everybody's been very good. Happy Friday to everybody. Hope everybody had a good week. Good to have. I believe we have 3 new people or 3.5 new people. Good. You figure out which one's the half, and we'll have some good times for the rest of the evening.
Half a person?
Oh, that wouldn't be you.
Peter Dinklage?
You're a special guest.
I'm half.
Oh, my goodness.
Special.
All right. Next up, we have 2 full human beings in this next part. We got from Catrin Figures, a.k.a. Cinema Figures, Cat and Mark. What's new this week?
Hi. Just a crazy week. And as always, excited to be on the core. What about you, Beb?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's eating.
Mark is a man of many words.
I think I'm going to A-OK you guys a headphone splitter.
No, we have one. I just don't like it.
So much better this way.
She likes to keep him close.
He has more control that way.
Keep him on a leash.
You can't get away.
Kind of a leash.
Short leash, not just any leash, a short one.
No, it's one of those retractable leashes. She hits the button, I come flying back to
it.
All right, next up, before we get into our 3 guests tonight, the end of the Comic Core, because sometimes we do save one of the best for last. We got the Great Legend Show, and that's a 17-time world heavyweight champion. Legend, how you doing tonight?
Carson, Seawood 19. It is always a good time when everyone's here tonight on Fridays for Comic Core. We got a great show tonight. We got that special guest. You're going to introduce him here in a little bit. I'm excited to chat with him about some cool comics. And then you see some guys you've seen before on the Comic Core. You know, we got Papa Smurf and Gargamel. Or Whitewell, sorry.
That's fair.
But,
add it to the nicknames.
Good to be here, Seawood.
All right, next up, I don't think I can introduce this next gentleman as well as Legend could, but I'm going to give it my best shot because that's what I do. We got the natural Whitewell Comics. What's going on, man?
Hello, everyone. My shelves are bare.
What happened?
I was robbed.
Were you? That's awful.
No, I'm moving.
Oh.
I was right.
Are you moving
states? I love it.
States?
What?
Are you moving different state or same state?
Moving state of mind, man.
Yeah.
All right, next up in the lineup, we got this guy. He's tearing it up in the YouTube scene. He's appeared on everybody's show. Everyone's like, we got to get this guy for a successful show. Luckily, we got him tonight. We got Caleb, the comic, Smurf, Murphy. What's going on,
you
Caleb?
guys, you know what I'm doing. I'm kicking it like a fat rat in a cheese factory. Just want to say I love all y'all out there. Is it not going? Can you
You're
hear
doing
me?
good.
Oh, we hear you.
You're on a
Oh,
roll.
okay. How come I don't pop up on the little thing, dude? That's driving me crazy. But anyways, dude, how's everybody tonight, dude? It's Friday night on the Comic Core where the show always goes off the rails, but we got Seawood here to hold it down. He ain't got a toothpick tonight, but I'm sure he's going to be bringing the heat to the chat tonight.
Oh, yeah, we're working that way. But before we get into the chat, we got one more guest. We got a star-studded lineup tonight. I got a chance to meet this next guy at C2E2. And not only is he an incredible human being, but, man, he gets some phenomenal finds, and he knows my soft spot original art. We got Bear Island Comics. What's going on, man?
Did I just level up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah, you did.
You just went
Holy
full
crap.
Super Saiyan, bro.
I gotta say, I love the fact that I finally get on the Comic Core and Drew's not here.
He-
Just like at C2E2.
it's they're one and the same.
Yeah, I tried to get you on a show on Wednesday night called the Unlimited Show, and
B team.
if you don't get first bidding, you're always welcome to be here on this thing.
I turned that one down and it paid off.
Nice.
Touche.
All right.
The
So
original.
before we continue and get into our picks of the week, I got to get back into this chat because everyone's hopping. And we got, here we go. We got YouTube is 90. Drink it in, man. We got 90 MF Comics. What's going on, Chad? I almost got to take a drink after that.
Former Hunt champion.
Yes, what I heard. Former Hunt champion, 90 MF Comics. Former. Next up, we got Andy King. What's going on, Andy King? I saw him last night in the Swamp Thing review. Hey, legend. Guess who's in the chat? We got Joe Ryan Comics, man.
Joe
Ryan.
freaking Ryan, one of the hottest guys in YouTube. We love this guy, man. One of the best channels out there. Check out Joe Ryan Comics. Or like I say, Joe freaking Ryan.
Yeah, that guy is just
Ryan,
riding
man.
an awesome wave of momentum right now. Check out his channel if you've been living under a rock. Check out Joe Ryan. But next up, I know this is almost everybody's favorite on the panel. We got the Slab Dragon himself, TJ Watson, in the chat.
Pride.
Always like seeing TJ, one of the best.
The legend likes King of Slabs.
I like King of Slabs better. I know y'all love the
TJ
Slab Dragon.
TJ
We got
makes
some of the
Slab
sons of the dragon here tonight, but to me, this man will always be king. The King of Slabs, TJ
I was
Watson.
going to keep this hidden a little bit, but TJ likes being called the Slab Dragon, and there's actually a comic book group known as Daughters of the Dragon. Has anybody ever known that?
No, I did not know that.
Ooh, I
Might
just
check
found
it
it. Something new.
Did you know I designed a Slab Dragon logo for TJ?
Ooh,
And it
wow.
is pretty dope.
It's
But
good.
You still need to send it to me again, Alec, by the way. I
I'm
lost
going to
the
give a
first
big
copy.
shout out to two people that were supposed to be on the show tonight. Midwest, get well. You're gone too soon. I'm surprised that you're still even
Right, Pete.
alive.
But he will be on Tuesday, Golden Guys, I promise you, because we talked a lot about that. And just to let you know, I'm not lying. This is a book right here from 1980.
Oh, yeah. I got that one.
Yeah, you do? Look,
Yeah,
Pretty.
good one.
look carefully. Third line down. What does that say?
Daughters of the Dragon. There you go. Boom.
That's some Black Widow
It's
right
good
there.
interiors in this too.
It's a phenomenal. Actually, it's. I was enjoying this one today.
Could you imagine if we all just pulled that book out?
Yeah, just randomly. Hey, and
Like,
then
oh
we
yeah,
al-
I happen to have that right here.
we also have to
GG,
say,
you have to watch.
Hey,
GG,
hey.
do you have to watch
Get well.
two bad seasons of Iron Fist to get to that?
I this is something where I just want to say thank God for Black Widow's headlights.
I like headlights.
Just thank God for headlights.
yeah, they help you drive at night.
I was just gonna make that same joke.
Oh, you know,
They
who
help
else-
you drive at night. They help you see the light, Chad. Who was that other one in the chat you wanted to shout out?
I
tonight?
just want to say, get well soon to Discovery Bay. We've
Yeah.
been discovered.
A little under the weather.
His voice is gone too soon.
Gone too soon,
Aw.
brother.
Karaoke.
Too much of that.
Lot of
Good morning.
A lot of karaoke.
YouTube.
But, you know who else we got in the chat tonight? We got Midwest Comic Man Ball and Chain in the chat.
Everybody
Holding
go to
down
bed.
for the whole
Oh,
Midwest.
the old lady holding it down for him. Heck yeah.
Happy to see her in the chat. We also have Real Comic Book Talk is in the chat, guys. They made a cool video this last week. Kind of, they were debating if, Gotham would be better off without Batman. So I recommend checking that video because they do have an interesting discussion over there. And, Kakarot, usually it's be a point where I turn to Drew. I'm like, hey, look, it's Virgil. But Drew can't be found once again, gone too soon. But we got Kakarot in the chat.
And
But
Joe
nonetheless,
Ryan. Joe Ryan.
Joe freaking Ryan.
Yep.
All right,
Big
Chad, I'll let you
Ball
kick
Ryan.
off.
Joe
next week.
Ryan.
So, Chad, what was your pick of the week?
It's not a DC book, and this thing has been amazing. I love this one, especially seeing him age through the years. The first issue is not like any of the other issues, and the other issues are so good. And this one is continuing, and just to see Peter age and what he's going through, this is fantastic. This story is absolutely fantastic, and I don't know why it's not on everybody's radar. So that's my pick of the week.
Yeah, I agree 100%, Chad. I've gone out of my way since you and Drew told me to buy this book, and it's been one of my favorite Spider-Man reads for a long time. You know, when you think that 90s, you got to think the Clone Saga, though, so they don't let you down in this book. So I've been really enjoying it as well.
Such a good book. Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. JD, did you get anything cool this week?
Well, outside of stuff I'm bringing to the hunt,
Oh
I
man,
would say
get ready, JD.
my pick of the week is going to be Silver Surfer Black #1, and I very rarely choose #1s as my pick of the week. I've always been saying give it some time, but this one, as a huge Norrin Rad fan, let's just get into it really simple. I wish the artwork in the director's cut edition, the Snyder cut, so to speak, was better than was what we got. But the artwork is great. The cover is great. Everything's good. The writing is good. But what it does, it gives you don't have to read any of the Thanos 13 through 18 or understand what has gone on with Norrin Rad to understand the impact that this is going to happen. And the fact that it's a 5-book issue, I recommend. I mean, this is a pick of the week that I've been waiting for it. But the big point about it, it delivers. And I know it's Donny Cates, and everybody loves Donny Cates, and everything Donny touched told to gold. I was more nervous about him messing around with Norrin than any other character he's ever done. And I think he did a good job, and he brought in a villain that he created actually, I guess Jason Aaron created it, but he enhanced it to a certain point of view. I actually would recommend everybody, I'm sure you've all seen it there. I heard some places selling out. I don't believe it is sold out because I can find it anywhere. Recommend just pick it up and read it. And if you like the Silver Surfer, you're going to like the story. If you like Venom, you're going to like the story. You like Thor, you're going to like the story. Beta Ray Bill is a huge part of this book, Guardians of the Galaxy. This is something where, and while I did say on Unlimited, I'm going to say the same thing here. The artwork in the book looks a little pixely. And I think that's more of the printing than the actual artwork itself, because Tadmor is usually a lot more detailed than this. But I kind of think that sometimes when you use digital coloring and everything else, how it goes, you kind of lose some of the feel. But I have seen the sketch work of this book, and it looks amazing artwork.
Yes,
so
dude.
I will say that the sketch work book is something I'm going to be on the hunt for. Kudos to that. It's kind of like if you're a Bernie Wrightson fan, there's something called the Muck Monster. The Muck Monster artwork is better raw than it is in the book, Eerie 68. I'll be showing that eventually, but that's how I compare it, and that's how it goes. I mean, most of us will agree. Alec, I'm sure, will agree with me that sometimes you rather see the pencil rendering than the actual coloring and inking. And I would say pencil rendering would have been better.
No, each step, I would say. Sometimes the penciling is better than inking. Sometimes the inking is better than the coloring.
Yep.
Sometimes it all comes together, but yeah, for sure.
There we go.
All right, yeah, I completely agree, JD. It is a great read. I really enjoy. I actually kind of dug the Tradmore. I've never read a lot of Tradmore, but I like the style, especially. I mean, the reason it's called Silver Surfer Black, he's trapped in a black hole. Things get crazy, So I definitely, absolutely enjoyed this read as well. So usually I've been a little critical of Marvel, but I really enjoyed some Marvel this week. So
Well, and
Had a
the
lot of-
tie-in at the end of the book, the spoil. I'm
Yeah.
not going to spoil
Yeah,
it, but
absolutely.
There's,
Well,
yeah,
agreed
there's
100%.
multiple reasons.
Kind of put all of Kate's together, all in one. You know how
Oh, yeah.
Aaron
Yeah.
And it
everything
even
up with War of the
It
Realms.
starts with Guardians and ends with yeah.
at the very beginning of it, man, he even touched back on Infinity Wars and about how Gamora killed Thanos and
Mhm.
how everything left off at the reading of his will or whatever. Like he
Right.
brought everything together real nice and easy, real quick, right at the very beginning, and then boom, like you're getting sucked down a black hole,
Yeah.
dude. It was epic, bro.
The
I loved it.
artwork of the black hole, I got a chance to see. I don't know who posted on
Comic Head posted some of
Comic
it.
Head 84, Macho Head 84.
Dude.
And I appreciate you for doing that because that made me really. When I saw that, I literally opened up the book again and said, "That would have been better." It was so
Yeah.
well done.
Oh my goodness, yes.
The life of Norrin Red. I mean, from John Buscema Inception. This is an original John Buscema sketch. To here isn't that much different. You know what I mean?
It's
So,
true.
I give it a lot of credit. I think it's an honor to Norrin Rad himself. And this is a finite book, by the way. What I mean by finite is we know what happens to Norrin Rad eventually, so we go with that. Very well.
Well,
Absolutely.
he I thought he'd talk longer than that. He's always really long-winded.
Anyway, Caleb, while you were on you, what is your pick of the week, Caleb?
All right, so the Silver Surfer Black definitely came in a close second, but my pick of the week is definitely going to be the independent out of Image Ride. Only because, not because of the cover. The story is awesome. It's about a cop who went to prison for 15 years. A female cop survived in prison for 15 years and basically came out a badass, dude. So she's like watching over a strip club, but there's a second story in the second half of the book called Sparkles. And all the interior is done by Adam Hughes, dude. It is like a little gold nugget at the back of a great story already, dude. If you can find this, pick it up. Absolutely, 100%. And that cover is fantastic.
And it's by Image?
I think so. Yeah, Image issue 1, Ride. It's the Ride. They did like a series back in the day.
Yeah,
and it's like
Ride.
This one's called Burning Desire.
Okay.
Dude, it is. Oh man, it's awesome.
Thank you.
Very nice. Yeah, I'm going to have to look for that. I didn't have that one at my shop this week, but
Well,
we'll go.
I'm writing it down right now.
Yeah.
I thought more about this book than Alec and John did, but it's still not as good as I thought it was gonna be. But it was still good. It's worth reading. It's worth getting the second issue.
Nice.
Don't listen to them.
Next up, we'll go to Kat. Kat, Mark, did you guys get anything good this week?
So of course Midtown. So I'm waiting on my books for this week. But one book that I read this week that I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't read this earlier, and it's a Marvel book. So Black Cat issue 1.
Mark, are you okay?
I think he's burning himself.
I think he's upset that she read Marvel instead of DC.
Or is it Sirach?
Everyone knows, like I'm a DC girl, but this was amazing. I loved how she was telling the story of cats and what cats are going to do, and it was really cute. It was really sassy throughout. I'm not gonna lie, she's a very sassy femme fatale, and a lot of respect for the character in this issue. Also, really gorgeous art germ. So, I mean, I picked it for the art germ, read it, and I'm definitely adding this to my polls.
So a little tidbit that if you didn't know this, and we got to meet Art Germ. The reason he is, does anybody beside Carson know why he chose Art Germ as his pen name?
Because
I know he doesn't like comics.
infection.
And
I
that's
know,
kind of why I don't like him anymore.
But I was there.
He wants to infect the people of the world with his art. So he is Art Germ. Pretty cool guy, though. Check it out. The video is live up on Chuckload Comics.
Nice.
Shameless plug.
Fun times.
And
Those are
Stanley
fun
Art Germ
times.
Loud, just to let you know, came out with there's a large, I don't know the size exactly. I'm going to say it's bigger than 11 by 17, hardbound. His work in DC, his covers in DC is out right now in an art form book. I saw it at my local shop, sealed. I don't know if they're actually allowing anybody to open it first, but you can imagine you're going to have your Supergirl in there. You'll have your Catwoman, I'm sure. And you're going to have a lot of good fun in there. And so that would be nice if you collect art books. There's a Stanley Artrum Lau book that came out this week. So
Nice. I'll have to look for that.
Yeah,
Sounds
D-Ron
awesome.
picked one up and he showed it on his video. He didn't open it. He just showed you like the preview pictures that are on the back.
And he's doing what he did, I'm sure you all know, with Catwoman, what he did with Supergirl right now, where he's doing the different kind of iterations of her. So the old 60s, 50s looking one came out this week. He's doing an animated series one, which is just knock your socks off. And I just saw, I think Comic Head posted the Michelle Pfeiffer Batman Returns one. Holy smokes.
Yeah, that'll be the one to get, in my opinion. That's a good looking cover.
I mean,
Alec, while we're on you, do you have a pick of the week?
Yeah, for anyone who watched Book Club, this is my favorite book I've ever read.
Seriously?
No, you clearly didn't watch Book Club because that was a garbage pile. Caleb is wrong. I'm sorry, Caleb. I can't agree with you. That book was garbage. Hot garbage.
The storyline alone is worth it.
That's why I'm saying. Seriously,
issue.
I don't think you mean what you said.
No, it's there's nothing redeeming about that book. Silver Surfer Black is the best book that came out this week.
Damn,
second best next to Ride, but
the White Weller has spoken. Caleb, watch out for the tombstone and the choke slam.
Yeah, I'm the anti-joy equation for a reason. I don't like anything.
Roy Hobbs doesn't play around.
Neither does Roy Harper.
Hope. I'm the hope out there.
Yeah, Caleb is the yin to my yang.
Did everybody pick this book up real quick before we continue on?
Yeah.
It's coming in my midtown order.
Okay, so in the back of it, did you see the Scarlet free download for Michael?
Is that legit? Did anybody try it?
No, it's legit.
Okay.
Oh.
Before we go too far forward, there is an app that you can download and look at this book in like a bunch of different ways. I haven't done it yet because I don't know if it's true or not. So, Alec, you need to do that and then let me know what you think of the book.
Because that book got great reviews, by the way. Outside of Alec and John, that book did.
Andrew.
And Drew. It did receive some reasonable, what I would call a reasonable amount of press for a book that was very unheralded coming out. It's not like Oblivion Song, which came with the Robert Kirkman name to it. It came kind of unknown. It wasn't something that was pitched a lot. And I know my shop under-ordered it because when I went in there and I said, hey, this group's doing this thing tonight, do you have a copy of this book? Like, and I ordered 10 copies and they sold. And they usually order, 10 copies of every new number one, no matter what. 10 copies of everything, but they did not even think about ordering 20 or 30. So I missed out on it because I'm like Caleb. I'm gonna trust Caleb. I'm gonna
send you one of my copies, brother.
No, I was gonna say I'm sending you something anyway, JD. I'll put it in your package.
I just want to read it. I'm a big fan of reading it, so I want to give it a shot because I've heard some things that
I don't want it in my house anymore.
Okay,
Give it to us and maybe you can preview it.
Yeah.
Say if it's a diamond in the rough.
Yeah, I mean, you never know because there are books that started off pretty weird.
You have to squeeze this piece of coal real hard to turn into a diamond, as far as I'm concerned.
Superman did it. Remember, he gave her a ring.
Yeah. I don't know.
Legend. Do you have any?
I did not care for it at all.
I have some great picks of the week. I've been reading a lot of old stuff lately. None of the books that came out this week I even got or ordered or anything like that. But I've been reading 1964. I'm caught up at the 1964 Fantastic Four 33 that had Namor in it, and the story revolves around Lady Dorma coming to get the Fantastic Four and say, Namor's under attack by this guy named Atuma. So the Fantastic Four go to Atlantis and help Namor. And Namor doesn't even know any of this is going on, but the Fantastic Four help Namor battle off Atuma, and so Lady Dorma's all good there. And then I've been reading, of course, Matt's Thanatos comics and Boy Who Had Seven. I've been reading the Jeff Johns Green Lantern run, and I just finished reading part 2 of the Agent Orange storyline, which is really cool. Hal Jordan's still trying to get that dang blue ring of hope off his finger, but at the same time, Larfleeze wants the blue ring. So, man, you got to love the Larfleeze. But as far as like newer books, a big shout out to Comics Misexplained. He talked about this. I think it was last week's Comic-Con Unlimited was the new Shazam book, Shazam issue 6, which was just another phenomenal issue. Jeff Johns writing, Doug Eaglesham on the artwork is just freaking awesome. I mean, it's real close to my favorite, kind of Gary Frank style of artwork. But man, Billy and Mary Marvel, they finally escaped the clutches of King Kid, and they get back to they're trying to find Eugene, Pedro, Freddy, Darla. So they're trying to go to the animal lands, the video game lands, to try to meet back up with their, foster family. But they go back to the Earthlands. They're teleported back home to their foster family. And right when they get there, they find out that Billy's father has come back. And after all these years, and he wants to reunite with his son. Just a great storyline. And at the very end, there's a humongous reveal where Mary lets her foster parents know that she is a superhero. So definitely, if you're not reading Shazam, make sure you do check that title out by DC. It's a lot of fun. And if you liked the New 52 Shazam, or if you liked watching the movie that was in the theaters of Shazam, definitely give Shazam the comic book series a read, because you'll be glad you did. Thanks, Carson.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, Shazam, it's been great, man. I guess before we're getting to Bear Island, because he's got one heck of a pick of the week, I'm just guessing. I'll go ahead and mine real quick, and then we'll get into the chat, and Bear Island's got some good books to show you. But I guess my current picks of the week, I already talked about Silver Surfer Black and Spider-Man Life Story. These two are phenomenal reads. Chad recommended this book, Thumbs. I went out and bought today. It was pretty solid. I really like the art style. And for $5, you get like a really nice quality comic book. It's glossy around both sides. It's like a almost more than double-sized comic. So it's almost like a trade, basically. So get a nice $5 value there, in my opinion. Luckily, my comic shop held Deceased #2. Sorry, Alec, I guess you have to cover your ears or whatever. But I actually really enjoyed part 2 more than issue 1.
I can't comment on issue 2. I didn't read it. So
okay, there you go. I was kind of like you, Alec. Part 1, I was like, I don't know about it too much, but I think the art got a little bit better from Trevor Hairsine. I enjoyed some of the character twists, especially with Green Canary and Mr. Freeze Batman. They were a lot of fun. I could just tell, with Tom Taylor on board, considering his track record with Injustice and that stuff, I think this is just going to be a fun book that's not to be taken too seriously. So as long as we're having fun with it, I think I'm going to be on board with this one for a minute. I really think they turned it around.
Is that what universe are we going down on that one?
It's just a random, alternate. It's kind of like Marvel Zombies, basically. It's
okay. I would say it's an Elseworld. It's just
it needs an Elseworlds banner.
Yeah, it's just an Elseworld.
Yeah, they should have defined that in issue 1. It would have made it better.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. The way I look at it is the same as Marvel Zombies. Obviously, it's just its own little universe. Maybe one day you'll get to see them pop their head in the regular universe, and then they'll get cast back to the zombie one. But other than that, I guess this would be my cool pickup of the week. I got a YouTube auction winning. I think it was from I can't remember who it was from. My bad. But this is a Sin Potter piece of art I got for about maybe $30. Cool Morbius cover. I couldn't turn this one down. Thought that was awesome. So I think he's actually having an art auction tonight at midnight, after our show. So definitely check out Sin Potter. But I thought that was just an awesome piece of art. I couldn't believe. I think it was Scott Farr was selling this. I couldn't believe anyone would be selling this on a YouTube auction. So I definitely had to swoop that up and get that in there. And then I've been reading digitally Superboy from 1994.
That's awesome.
So just reliving some of those fun memories of my boy Connor Kent. They added all 100 issues to the DC streaming app. So I'm like, screw it. I'm just going to read the first 7 or 8. And it made me feel like a kid again. It was pretty awesome. I didn't realize in hindsight how much he gets his butt kicked in those first several issues. Cause it's the formula for the early ones is like they introduce a new villain, he gets beat up by that new villain, and then they introduce the next one, and that's the next issue, and then they beat him up. But eventually, they make the new Suicide Squad out, or the 90s Suicide Squad out. And then it's a lot of fun seeing him have to team up with this Suicide Squad that each and every one of these characters was introduced in a previous issue of his book. So, I mean, I like that first, like, I think 16, 18 issue run is some of my favorite comics of all time. And then you get, Carl Kessel on the writing, Tom Grummett art. I absolutely love it.
I love the Carl Kessel run. Run, one of the fucking best. And not only did Han do it, Carl did it too.
I made it in 12 parsecs.
I was just going to.
We're kindred spirits on that. I was a huge fan of when I was in college, and I picked up that Superboy run because somebody said at the comic shop when I was at was long since closed, called Cosmic Comics. They turn around.
Gone too soon.
You should. You should try that. You should try the Superboy if you like this. And I said, well, I'm pretty much sticking to it's the 90s. I was Silver Surfer or whatever going on. And he's like, try this. And it was the Kessler Superboy run that made me say, boy, I missed that writing. Because I will honestly say it's a flashback, and that's exactly what it is. It is an old style writing. It is a arc style writing, which is back today. Congratulations to everybody who's writing in comics today. You figured it out. That arcs is what we all want.
And that's what Indy wanted to find as well. Another Harrison Ford reference.
And I saw some Indiana Jones pops in the most recent previews magazine.
Oh yeah, you know what? Look at that right there, Chad. Right there. Bang! Damn.
This comic book is nuts.
All right, before we get into Bear Island, I do want to visit the chat just one more time, and then without further ado, we're going to get into what Bear Island picked up this week. But we got Just Rican in his comics in the chat, guys. So always
Roddy's here.
He's got some great stuff on his channel, some great community recognition. So recognize him by checking him out. We got Who Dat Comics and Movies, one of my favorites in the community. We were on Chad 90's channel this last week as a part of Turtle Talk Thursdays. So I always like doing the Turtle Show with those guys. We got Andy King recommending Category 0 because we were talking about Kessel and Grummett earlier. So definitely check out that recommended read as well. And we got royalty in the chat, guys. We got the Prince of New Zealand, the uncanny Kyle Walker. What's going on, Kyle?
Damn, Kyle is here. I love Kyle Walker.
From the future.
Please watch Kyle's show. His latest video was pretty great.
Kyle's one of those hidden gems in the comic book community. He never tries to overly, want any kind of focus on himself. But damn, when you watch the guy and you see the passion and see the knowledge of all the books that he has, especially his X-Men collection, his 2000 AD collection, his Battle collection. If y'all don't know Battle, it's one of the greatest mags of the old UK scene, man. Check out Kyle, the uncanny Kyle Walker.
Yeah, he's absolutely awesome. And you know who else is awesome? If you ever want to take notes on how to Instagram, check out this guy, Stay Puff 1983. This guy has one of the best, coolest Instagrams around, so check him out. And we got Marvel Hunter in the chat. First time seeing Marvel Hunter. How's it going, man? Welcome to the Comic Core. And Sam I Am Comics. What's going on, man? Sam I Am's in the chat. And last but certainly not, oh, wait, we got Comic Food 2814 as well. And Bake the Snake. Old Bake the Snake. What's going on?
Hey, Carson, if you're a big fan of Sam I Am, there's one gal on this panel that does story time at night, and she occasionally will read a Dr. Seuss book. And I know she's read the great Dr. Seuss's Green Eggs and Ham, and I'm talking about Cat Ran Figures.
I mean, the only way I fall asleep at night is by turning on Cat Ran stories.
Oh, amen. Good answer, pal. Good answer.
All right, without further ado,
trained good.
Let's get into Bear Island Comics, man. What do you got for us tonight?
Can I do a quick pick of the week before we get to the thing that you're teaching?
Yes.
Okay. I haven't been to an LCS in like 2 weeks, but let's see if I can make JD cream himself here. This is what I've been reading.
Yeah.
That is the Swamp Thing, the Wrightson collection.
The Bronze Age, Volume 1, which includes House of Mystery. which I didn't realize was like a short story that only takes up, what, a third of the book?
It's a 6-page storyline, not really followed up from there. Actually, it does follow up to the Muck Monster, if anybody wants to know.
Anyway, these stories are incredible. It's busting a lot of what I thought about Swamp Thing, what I assumed about Swamp Thing. A lot of people think he's just in the bayous, but this thing goes from like Scotland to the Balkans. He's all over the place. And this is the most poetic storytelling I have ever read.
Yes.
Damn.
If I could just offer up a quick passage here. This is from issue 4, the first page of issue 4. Just these 4, I'm just going to read you guys these 4 bubbles real quick. The night is made of fog, a musky gray blanket that lies upon the landscape like a shroud, oppressing all it embraces. Treetops, hillocks, everything covered by the same pervading mist. But this night, 2 new objects thrust from the cold fen floor. One, the ruptured wreckage of what once had been a sleek 4-engine seaplane. The other, the twisted ruin of what once had been a man.
Damn, that's classic Lynn Wein right there, and writes.
Oh my gosh!
You can read to me anytime, Adam.
I actually had chills.
Every Thursday,
We
we
want,
talk Swamp Thing.
we
Mhm.
want
Oh, it's so good. It's, I mean,
and
DC verse, man, for life.
I'm
It's not a coincidence his name's Alec.
Yeah,
You know, I
I
heard
have
that,
a gorgeous previews exclusive Swamp Thing pop.
I would say I heard the cat run over here is actually really great friends with Swamp Thing.
Yeah,
I love
Yeah,
those
we-
preview exclusives.
we got some videos coming out.
So, Bear Island, when you read it the first time and when you had the epiphany of that, Alec goes in there and he goes Scotland and the storyline, the Matt Cable, the Abigail Arcane, the Arcane family, the whole Patchwork Man induction into there. Did you feel as if it was a horror based or more of a action based with a horror aspect to it?
absolutely. I definitely recognized, like when I was reading this, I was actually thinking of you and some other people who have mentioned horror a lot on these shows. I don't think I've ever read a comic that is horror based, I guess. But it didn't feel like it was dominant. It felt like there was room for other things. Like the second issue here, right away, issue 2, he's given the option. He's like, do you want to go back to normal?
Yep.
But if he goes back to normal, an entire village of people are going to die. So he has to make the gut-wrenching decision. I'm like, really? We're already this far in character development? This is incredible.
And he finds out he has to put others before himself and get those other people over so those other people can survive their demise.
But there's, like JD is hinting at, there's a lot of body horror and things like that. And
it's one of the iconic things I think that I don't think people give Bernie enough credit and Len Wein enough credit for doing is that before there's a Frankenstein monster story in several Bernie Wrightson books, Muck Monster, Swamp Thing, and Frankenstein itself. When he did the illustrations, it was a diehard passion for him to do. And for Swamp Thing to be the most, you've got Heap, you've got Man Thing, you've got a lot of the characters that are based out of that genre, so to speak, Black Lagoon genre and everything else. But I think what I found most exciting about the volume 1, so to speak, of Swamp Thing, the Len Wein run, is that it's a Frankenstein story where the Frankenstein monster is Patchwork Man, but so is Alec Holland. It's a Frankenstein story where not the creation of I created this and now it's coming after me, or now it's my friend and what's happening to it. It's more or less saying, what if it's the worst thing that's ever happened to you, but if you choose to no longer live that way, the deformity and everything else, others will die. You make that choice. That's what Swamp Thing, the first run, is, and it continues. I hope you read all the way through to the Archon to when they go back to New Orleans. It's just an amazing experience, and I think that I thank DC. I thank you all, DC, for bringing the light to Swamp Thing once more.
Amen. Carmine Infantino for life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I made it through the first 9 issues, and I can't believe that, like, after the Len Wein stuff is over with, I get Alan Moore, too. Like, come on, are you kidding me?
Gone
Did you
too
watch
soon.
the
I
episode
think
that came
it's
out
10
today?
times better with Alan Moore, by the way.
I
Gone
haven't
too
watched
soon.
it because I'm one of those weird people who needs to finish Doom Patrol before I can start Swamp Thing, and I'm on like the last episode of Doom Patrol. So
Okay. Alec White Whale Comics has
Oh, I was going to say which one.
Alec White Whale. You have to absolutely. I mean, do you agree with me that as great as the Len Wein story is, Alan Moore steps it to a notch where I don't think there's anything like that in comics, where you have the best beginning and the best follow up. It's like what if the sequel was better than the original? Which there's been a few movies like that. That's a discussion for another day. But that's exactly the way I put it. I mean, as great as it was, how much better is it when Alan
Well,
Moore?
I mean, it's Alan Moore. I mean,
But not saying the
surprised.
Alan Moore, but just the story itself.
yeah.
Hashtag gone too soon. Gone too soon.
Alan's still alive.
You know,
Well,
Alan
one thing
Moore,
is-
Alan Moore and Peter Mayhew kind of had that same hairstyle. You know, that kind of real long hairstyle and
That's
stuff.
interestingly what my hair looks like when it's long.
Yes, sir.
are we going to say that soon?
What's that?
There's a book that
You
is.
threw it all the way out.
I have.
So, what are your picks of the week, Mr. Bear Island Comics?
Oh, I guess it would be the issue that I read the little thing from. This is all I've read, other than I read digitally the comic I picked up from the Spider-Man booth.
So let's talk about that. So you actually, absolutely, you bought 5. They're called
Mystery boxes.
Peter Petruski boxes. I feel like Peter Petruski.
Petruski right here. Peter Pacebot Pete deserves a little love. They are 5. Now, I'm somebody who does not buy mystery boxes, who's so excited about them. I mean, I bought some Bueller boxes here and there, and I like those. I like I bought some Comic Tom ones. I enjoyed the trade paperbacks and some of the surprises I got in them.
So you
this-
do buy mystery boxes.
But those were more like help the guy out kind of thing. This is the Spider-Man booth that is. I've watched the guy pull out the Hulk 181. I've watched the Hulk Wolverine 10 Deadpool variant. I've watched a lot of people pull out some good things, and now I get a chance to.
Carson got giant size X-Men.
There might be a book up here I pulled out.
Yeah,
That would be nuts. man.
beautiful stuff.
That
I'm
would be
waiting for
absolutely
mine.
crazy.
The giant size X-Men 1. I mean, this is good stuff. But you pulled out what I would consider one of the top 5 Bronze Age DC books. I mean, I'm not even going to say top 5. I'm going to say top 1 Bronze Age DC book, not named House of Secrets, 92. Go ahead, take it. There it is.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, highlight
Purple cover,
highlight
baby.
Bear Island
Purple
because
cover.
man, this book you're not going to see in this high of a
Sorry, I
grade
forget that I
very
have to
often.
talk to make it show up.
That's a royalty book right there.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
real nice.
God.
ever since I started collecting again, which is late 2017, I identified this as wow. Okay, if I'm gonna ever get big books, this needs to be one of them. I never thought I'd have it like this quickly into my re-entry into collecting, but I did a really stupid thing and I ordered 5 mystery boxes. And
Clearly not so stupid.
afterward, seriously, a half hour later, I was like, "Oh no! Did I no?"
Backtracking real fast.
So dumb, and I will never do it again. I really won't. I swear to God. Like, buy what you can afford. I couldn't afford that.
Well, I mean, and
mystery boxes. Come on.
you shouldn't buy them again because you won the mystery box game. Like you play to win.
5.5 coming at Bear
But you're not going to win
Island
again.
Now you walk away, and much respect to that Spider-Man booth. I mean, they're great. The guys are super nice. Like, if you're not happy with your books, you can talk to him. He's a reasonable guy. Like, it's great, but just know what you're doing. This was a straight up gamble. Straight up.
Yeah,
gamble.
for sure.
Hey, Alec would love this book because it's the most well-known librarian in comic book history, and she's just a kick-ass superhero as well.
Who has anybody read it all the way through this book?
No,
Not me. I'm a Marvel guy, but that is very high up on my list of books that I want in my own collection. Very high.
Do you guys want to know the quick synopsis of what happens in here?
Yeah. What's going on there?
Okay, so the main villain is Killer Moth, who I was not familiar with at all.
Classic
Yes.
C
Yes.
villain.
He's amazing.
All about money. Like he's going around and he's
It always is.
he's going after rich men and threatening to beat them up if they don't give money, like a protection racket. So he figures if he gets Bruce Wayne, they'll all fall in line, you know, and he'll just be super rich. He's already got a mansion. He's got this place called the Moth Mansion. Anyway, Batgirl, Barbara, librarian Barbara, just decides one day that she's going to go out and sort of she's going to a masquerade ball, a police masquerade ball, which I didn't know was a thing. Hilarious. But she just wants to dress as a superhero, so she dresses as Batgirl. Her little idea. She has no to run into Bruce Wayne in trouble and save him. She loves the feeling so much of rescuing him. She decides she's going to make it a thing. Anyway, she gets into a big caper with Batman and Robin. They decide to leave her behind as they fight Killer Moth, but of course she like follows them. She ends up in the Moth Mansion with them, and she solves it all because she can smell her own perfume on Killer Moth from a previous battle that they had. So she becomes a superhero because of her perfume and
her olfactory sense
with fashion. It's the most 1960s thing you've ever read in your life.
I had an incident when I was a child. I walked into like Macy's and the lady sprayed that stuff in my eye and I went blind for like a month.
Damn.
That was Mace. That was Mace, Chad. You were out of line.
I don't
let you're right. You're right.
Gone too soon.
That was Mace, Chad. You were out of line.
You dirty dog.
That was Mace and I was 16 and I was in an hour.
You weren't a child. You were 16. You were out of line and it was Mace.
You're right. Thank you for clarifying. I get confused sometimes.
Kat, do you only allow him to eat on camera?
No. He just never stops eating.
I really never do stop eating.
Well, that's
Now, what kind of ice cream you eating over there?
You eat like a steak or something, you might get full.
I'm actually eating Golden Lasso Wonder Woman ice cream.
Damn, the good stuff. Good stuff.
So now I just tell you
don't mind ask, what year did that Batman come out? The detective, I'm sorry. What year did that book come out?
You're on mute.
67?
I don't know. Ask Bear Island, JD. He's got the label. He got the CGC label.
He's talking. He's on mute. Bear Island is on mute.
No, he's not on anymore. I put him on mute.
Oh.
Now you can go. Now you can go, Bear Island.
Yeah,
we got you.
There we go.
Right. It's January 1967.
Oh, okay.
Wow, good year. Second year, Dark Shadow was on TV. Second year, Adam West and Burt Ward were kicking ass with the best in tights.
But
sorry.
Legend, I saw in Previews magazine they had Dark Shadow like original Star Wars style with the cardboard.
Oh yes, well damn it, I'll have to order some of those. I'll have to look in the Preview magazine order. So I'm a huge Dark Shadows fan. I don't know if we have any baby boomers in the chat that were born like say in the 40s or 50s, and they ran home from school to watch Barnabas Collins, Jonathan Frid, and one of the hottest American Gothic soap operas of all time. The one that started all, without this, there would be no Interview with the Vampire. There'd be no freaking Edward, the shiny vampire who Edward Cullen. Are you serious? That's a straight ripoff from the Collins family.
Hey, Legend, guess what?
Little rant there. What's up, man?
We're
wearing the same shirt, baby.
We're premiering tomorrow morning is the premiere of Into the Badlands. Into the Deadlands, episode 2.
Yeah.
Hot show. If you're into vampires and just kick-ass action and great drama, you'll need to tune in tomorrow, Saturday morning, for Into the Deadlands. This is like Hollywood-style stuff on this channel, the Comic Core. We're Hollywood Monday through Friday, but on Saturday morning, you'll get something extra, so make sure you check it out. JD, what's up, brother?
I was born in the 50s.
I was kind of going to the Barbara Gordon thing. I was kind of thinking about it. If that came out in would you say 67?
Yeah,
67.
Because Barbara Gordon on the TV show would have been season 3, and Yvonne Craig was Batgirl pretty much right away.
That's right.
It was directly from comic to TV show in the 60s, which you
Yep.
don't have a lot today. I mean, everybody compares, if you wanted to give you an idea, the most recent character to be put in a Marvel movie that wasn't on that major character, and let's be honest, Batgirl is a major character. Major character in
Oh
a
yeah,
Marvel movie
absolutely.
to get there was it's Guardians of the Galaxy, probably more for sure, and it's that version of Guardians of the Galaxy, which took about at least 10 years before they got their done. You're talking 6 months to 9 months to a year from print date to screen. That
So
can
if so for a lot of the current gen that follow, more so TV movies, and then they go pick up the comic.
yeah,
I mean, for any of the kids that had that comic first,
there
they
was no
were
respect
they
back
were
then.
getting some automatic. Yeah, they were they were automatically specking, and they didn't even know about it.
I mean,
Are you saying that it was planned?
well, no,
Could be,
I know.
could
What I'm
be.
saying is it was just
It was planned, actually.
The conspiracy theorists.
it's just a different time, a different era of a great time where it was the same bad channel, same bad time, and people were tuning in. And before you knew it, Yvonne Craig showed up on the screen and donned the purple sparkly sequin tight, well, not sequin, sparkly tights, and was Batgirl. And that's not that. I mean, that's pretty rare if you think about it.
And television at the time, like that show Batman, it changed everything. Before that, 1965 and prior, you had Munsters and Addams Family. So you had a rebirth of the monster lore from like Universal's 30s, 40s, and 50s. But you got Munsters TV, you got Addams Family. But damn, once that Batman, once that
Twilight
Adam
Zone.
West hit the
Twilight
scene,
Zone.
once Adam West hit the scene, it was superhero power hour. You know what I mean? Chad, what do you think?
Paul Midwest Comic Book Man said when he was young, they took mud and they drew on the cave walls. But hey, Carson, what's going on in that chat?
Oh, I'm so glad you mentioned that. We got a couple favorites in the chat. We got Comic Spectre straight from the Normandy is in the chat. Says Concord Friday Night House Party's dropping in to wish everyone a great weekend. Hope you have a great weekend too, man. And we have Gone Too Soon, but he's in the chat anyway. We got Comics Misexplained in the chat. Glad he's still alive, man.
One of my
And Cat Ren's wish has come true. The mailman,
Oh, yeah.
Jason Smith, is here.
It took him a while to get here because he used that media mail, but he finally got in that chat. Big shout out.
Hey, congratulations to Jason Smith. He's a grandfather recently, I found out. Congratulations.
Congrats, old timer.
Hey,
Somebody.
speaking of doing things by design, can I bring something up really quickly?
Absolutely.
Sure, go ahead.
So we were talking about Silver Surfer Black.
Okay.
Do you guys realize the second print comes out next week?
Yeah,
Really?
Yeah,
it
that,
was.
that offends me.
There
Yeah,
are
they didn't
there
even
are
wait to find
there
out
are
if it was gonna
covers.
sell out.
I will say that there is a cover. Obviously, I'm interested in. It's the John Buscema Silver Surfer 4.
The homage, dude.
The homage cover.
Oh
But
my
that's not coming
god.
out till July. You know, people are saying they have it in hand, but that's a second or third printing. I don't know if the demand for Silver Surfer Black warrants this.
Well, and Marvel, how would Marvel would have known?
It did it on Naomi. It worked for Naomi. Let's see what
But
it can do. So-
But
But like Marvel, like well before orders were placed, had set up a second printing if it's coming out next week. So they just said we're making another printing because we know people are going to buy it because it's going to have Null on the cover.
A planned second appearance is what Alec is trying to say, and Marvel's trying to do it their way. And here's the key: the buyers are going to be buying it up.
spoiler cover, in other words.
Yeah.
A spoiler cover, which is fine because if you didn't read the storyline, you can figure it out next week. You're gonna show up to your comic shop and you're gonna be like, I didn't know that son of a bitch was in this movie.
Paste Pot Pete, man.
Paste Pot Pete shows up, takes on, and he actually pulls in Batman to the black hole.
yeah, it's crazy. She
It
gets
is
real.
pretty dope.
It's no joke.
She gets weird.
Real Batman too. It's Michael
Gets Grant Morrison type
actually
weird
Michael
people.
in a Birdman costume. It turns out, and then he becomes Batman.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's the only way to do it.
I like The Founder. Did anybody watch that?
I still need to see that one.
That's a good movie.
So one of the things I wanted to bring up to this panel, because this is such a class act panel with Bear Island and Alec on here, and the rest
Sounded
of
sarcastic.
no.
Super sarcastic.
I-
Very offended by that shit.
Neil Gaiman fans, there's that show Gods and Omens or Goods and Omens, Good Omens.
Good omens.
That looks good. That looks really, really good. I think.
I watched the first episode and it feels like I should be watching it's only 6 issues long. It's only 6 episodes long, sorry, issues. But do we know of any storyline in comics that has brought on, and I'm gonna let's control ourselves, that brought on the apocalypse where the two guys controlling what may happen or who's involved or get told are the protagonists. Usually who brings the apocalypse is the antagonist, and who protects it from it is the protagonist. In this case, you have two people that are like, I don't want it, but they're told to do what they have to do, and they have to do it. You know, it's the first episode. You can watch the trailer and figure that out. But the best part about it, what I watched was it was a Neil Gaiman style Sandman kind of thing. If everybody read Neil Gaiman Sandman, where the characters are developed. By the time that you're done with episode 1, you figured out that the good guy is the good guy and the bad guy is the bad guy, but they have to be friends in order to stop something they don't want to happen.
Seth Bullock and Al Swearingen, JD.
It's
they
like
gotta work together.
A little bit of Deadwood involved.
That Al Swearingen. Don't get me started.
Because this is a YouTube live show, I will not talk like Al Swearingen at all.
He talks very eloquently, just with a lot of curse words in between.
Then every other word is woo.
Only when he's
cocksucker.
He has a favorite word.
Like woo, like JD as Ric Flair.
Yeah. Oh.
Woo! Make this a Flair Wish project.
Woo! Man, that show, best Western of all time. It's better than Hell on Wheels ever thought of being.
And Hell on Wheels is actually pretty legit too.
Oh, Hell on Wheels.
But,
is
Deadwood though, yeah.
I'm a big fan of Shane.
Oh, Alan Ladd. All right. Going old school. Lee Van Cleef, them little beady eyes now. You talking about a bad guy. Oh, Lee Van Cleef. Sorry, JD. What's your thoughts?
Say modern Westerns, yes, Deadwood. But Yellowstone looks
Don't discount Yellowstone. That's right.
Looks legit. I haven't watched it yet, but it's Costner. I
loved Hatfield when Costner did Hatfield and McCoy's. That was awesome.
That was so.
That was amazing.
That was really
I loved Open Range. That was a good movie.
Oh, that was a good.
Open Range was amazing.
Western of my last 20 years.
I like Blazing Saddles. They fart in that.
I'm a big Western guy.
I love Western.
What was the one with Christian Bell?
310 to Yuma.
No. The one that came out where
it
was like last year, and
when he's the soldier and he's got to escort.
Yeah,
that's 310 to Yuma.
No. It's 310 to Yuma. It's a similar. 310 to Yuma is an old story.
Yeah, it's a remake.
It's been redone a couple of times. It was actually a movie from the 30s. That was redone with Russell Crowe. This was a movie, a movie with Christian Bale as a escort. What was the name of it? We'll have to figure that out. If anybody in the chat would love to help.
Russell Crowe.
It wasn't Russell Crowe. It was really good. It was very. It had a finite name too.
I'm just gonna Google it.
There's this movie called Tombstone that was really good.
Oh,
that's all I know.
Tombstone's the greatest movie of all time. That is the greatest movie of all time. If you're a man and you haven't seen that movie,
you're not a man.
You have a vagina.
So quotable.
Sorry, this is where I always argue.
Cat speaking.
Vaginas are great.
I want to hear Cat.
Fred effing Chopin. Sorry,
Cat
Ren.
My favorite Western style film is probably Bone Tomahawk. Has anybody watched that?
Bone Tomahawk.
Damn.
Probably. Here's the thing: we brought up Tombstone. Kurt Russell's better performance is Bone Tomahawk, not in Tombstone. It's better in Bone Tomahawk. Kurt Russell is a better actor and a better performance and a better. How's your knee? in
It-
Bone Tomahawk that needs there.
Say
Now, however,
Brando.
you have the Val Kilmer portion of, and of course,
Dude.
I'm not going to even. I can't go anywhere without saying
Val
that.
Kilmer's
Oh
Doc Holliday.
God.
Dude, is just
Everybody says,
100%
"What do you want to
gold.
be when you grow up?" I can't wait to grow up to be Sam Elliott.
Is
That's
it Hostel?
Damn.
Yeah, 7 pounds of pressure takes a man's knee out
Old
every
gray.
time.
I can't wait to be all
Beef
gray.
Alex,
is
what was the
much
movie
for
called?
dinner.
Gray
Called
in the hair,
Hostels.
and I'm gonna
Hostels.
talk just
Yeah.
like that. I'm gonna be.
Hostels was a
Sam
good
Elliott
movie.
for my life.
Hostels was fire.
I don't know. I don't really like torture porn.
Hostels. That was it.
Hostels was awesome. Yep.
That was a very good movie.
No,
Actually,
I thought that joke was okay.
yeah, but that's a great movie. And if you're Western fans, we should do probably one day on Golden Guys. We're going to do a Western themed Golden Guys because we all actually
Man, y'all
we
need to break out the novels, dude. I'm talking
but
William
if
Johnstone and
you're
Louis
talking
L'Amour,
Westerns,
brother.
I
Oh,
love some Louis L'Amour.
I liked it when the Justice League was like going through time, and they were like Green Lantern and all them were cowboys and that. Do you guys remember that shit on the cartoon?
Yeah,
I
but
think
you got kid.
Walt Longmire.
What was it? What was
Henry
that?
Standing
What was
Bear.
that word you just said, Caleb?
It's a good show.
Novel. I'm not familiar with that.
Novels?
I'm not familiar with that word.
One of my favorite books
Novelas, telenovelas, órale, somos
of the
unos
Golden
vatos
Age.
forever. sí.
Are they like?
The Golden Age is Apache Kid. It is absolutely one of my favorite. It was started by it starts in Blaze Carson #4 as a first appearance, and then you've got the Two Gun Western, and you've got Apache Kid, and if you want to get into some Western, you got some Jonah Hex right there. That's some good stuff too. I'm a big fan of Apache Kid. I do show this book. This is the issue. What am I up to right now? By the way, I am reading this, but it's not my pick of the week because nobody else can find them. This is legitimately. I actually read two characters as Sam Elliott. It's
Apache Kid makes an appearance in this one.
Hey guys, if you want to go, I know they pop open another tab on your screen. The home of the New York Warriors has a live auction going on right now. If you want to check it out,
Well, I've been watching it the whole time.
Alex been bidding the whole time.
One of the best auctions.
Kid Called Outlaw is one of my favorites. And by the way, a character you got to understand. Westerns don't get enough credit in comics today like they did back in the day. And maybe our society has
Black
grown.
Panther came from Westerns.
Yes, and
by the way.
the original Ghost, not the original Ghost Rider, because we never technically called Ghost Rider the Phantom Rider. Come on, Legend, you know Phantom Rider. You know Phantom Rider.
I know Phantom Rider. I know. I was so glad when they did do that movie.
Curtis Slade.
When they had the movie, they had old Sam Elliott as
Sam
that
Elliott
one.
did that role.
One modern one, real quick was. And Chad, I think you read this with me. It was that Lone Ranger that came out by Dynamite
that was
Entertainment.
so good.
Then set in Texas and all that, and they had the guys, the real rich dudes, were trying to like extend their boundaries throughout Texas and take land away from other landowners. And what they were doing was moving their barbed wire around. And of course, this was one of the Lone Ranger and Tonto's early adventures together. And you really see Tonto shine in that book because if it wasn't for Tonto, Lone Ranger would have just been dead because Tonto saved the day.
And that's the problem. I mean, I remember growing up and watching Lone Ranger, and then they did that awful movie.
Oh, Gone Too
I've never
Soon.
seen it. I'm a Western fan.
It's a
The
comedy.
best part of that movie
Is
is
the ending.
when the horse gets a mask.
Oh yeah.
The horse gets a mask. Other than that, you can kind of skip through that movie.
Yeah,
That was your favorite part of the movie?
Yes,
My favorite
Silver
part
got
Can I bring up one real
My
quick?
favorite part of the movie
Yeah.
was
They need
Nick
to
Trade.
protect the horse's identity.
My favorite Western was that one with Will Smith and the giant spider.
Yeah, I'm
Wild
certainly
Wild
watching
West,
it.
classic.
Wow.
I want to hear.
That's on there.
Panel
Didn't happen.
recognizes Bear Island.
Please.
Bear Island Comics. Please
Bear
go
Island.
ahead.
Please, Bear
I was
Island.
just thinking of a recent Western that actually has comic books in it.
Yeah.
Maybe the first comic books. The Assassination of Jesse James
Hey.
by Robert Ford.
Damn.
Such a good
Oh.
flick.
You know, around that
Man,
time,
that thing blew me away. And the
classic dime
soundtrack to that
novels.
thing.
Yes, that
Hey,
was
Young
the-
Guns, dude. Count Von Strange. That's what I'm talking about. Some Young Guns. was
Count
fire.
Von
I knew
Strange.
someone
you
would bring
know,
up Young
'cause
Guns.
they're finally,
Regulators.
when you think he's educating finally young men, and Jack Palance says that Count Von Strange is educating young boys.
Wait, what?
best.
I mean, Jack Palance. Wait, Jack Palance said that. Count Von Strange did not say that.
Okay, stop.
I want to hear Bear
John
Allen.
Walker stand a
I want
chance.
to hear Bear Allen and Alec for a second. I want to ask them a question related to comics recently on stuff and everything else. We've seen the Spider-Man booth. We've seen there, and both of you guys have been somewhat mystery box buyers or auction buyers. Alec is a former spec buyer. You don't. Bear Allen doesn't seem to be a spec buyer, more of a I'm back in this hobby. I want to go get what I like kind of a thing. I'm going to save up and get what I like. Now that you two are on an even keel, is there something that you can give advice to anybody else in your experience, since two people that have had two different paths to where they are today with great collections, phenomenal knowledge? Can you share with us in the community what is a path that you would give somebody, let's say a Caleb, who is back into comics and everything else, tells me he wants to get into the golden age, and he is, by the way, hitting it out of the park. If there is somebody in this world who's a Goldberg of wrestling, if there's a Goldberg of the comic community, it is the guy who walked in the door and kicked everybody's ass, walked away with the heavyweight title of being the best there is. That is Mr. Comic Smurf. But I want to hear first from you two before I go to the Smurf.
I mean, I was going to ask Caleb how to collect comics.
Yeah.
Damn.
Kids, I mean, you can't. I know you recently turned a major birthday, but I want to hear more about Bear Island and Alec, your growth in the comic collecting.
Sir,
please.
Would you like me to go first, or you?
Oh. No, you go. I've been talking too much already.
No, JD has.
Somebody has to keep this thing on rails.
So first of all, the greatest Western of all time is Rifleman number 10.
Damn, Chuck Connors.
Chuck Connors.
Is that the tree stump issue?
Yeah, of course.
The big thing of trees.
It's
yeah.
the log.
Log
Yeah.
issue. Yeah.
Hashtag Grail status.
The looks on the faces, dude.
Second of all, I hope Caleb is not Goldberg, because he is quite injured, from what I understand.
Mm-hmm. Gone too soon, falling on your head.
Gone too soon. Apparently, he gave himself a concussion before the match, and that.
Don't run into the turnbuckle head first and hit the pole instead.
Everything went hashtag off the rails.
After he won the championship, that's what we don't want Caleb to do.
So my advice is set your eyes on what you want and don't compromise for it. For a long time, I've been, as we saw last week, on the hunt. I reigned supreme with a copy of Bone number 1, which was for 15 years my number 1 Grail book. And I kept buying $20, $30, $40 books because they were good deals, or because I thought they were cool, or because they were hot books or whatever. And, I can flip through my collection and say, oh, well, maybe that's worth $80 now, but who cares? Like, I'd rather, like, buying that Bone number 1 was more satisfying, and I treasure that more than, all the books that I had to sell to get it, basically, or else I wouldn't have done it. As a comic collector, it's really hard because you want to go to the comic shop and you want to buy a book because that's what gets your blood pumping, right? But the Bone was a hustle, Chris Barrett. Don't you try name.
Very good.
Don't mess with Jeff Smith.
The
chat has spoken.
If I give somebody props every day, it's Alec for getting the Bone, because I know exactly what that feeling.
That sounded weird.
Yeah, that's what she said. Good God, JD.
That's like when old Mother Hubbard went to the cupboard to fetch the dog a bone.
My wife just
bent over, and that's when Rover took over.
My wife's painting right now, and she turned around and said, "What?" And I said, "Okay." That was pretty much what I'm getting at. Is pretty much 100% truth. Is that I applaud Alec for exactly what he just said.
Keep your eyes on the prize, right,
Keep
JD?
your eyes on the prize.
But the way that Alex said it sounded a lot more inspirational than when you just like applaud him. So I want to hear it again.
Right. So I do applaud you for everything you've done, because you showed on the hunt last week. The hunt, the one before, I won on a House of Secrets. And everybody's like, of course, JD comes in with a big Grail. It took me, in my lifetime of being a Bernie Wrightson fan, that is my last one, and I saved it for last. And to complete my top 10 list of Bernie Wrightson. Now I don't have a Swamp Thing 1 anymore, but I never had one. But I don't have a Swamp Thing 1 in the grade I want. But that wasn't on my list. The Muck Monster and a bunch of other crazy Frankensteins, everything else was. I completed my run, and I told everybody on the hunt that night, I'm done. I'm done with my Silver Age. So unless you like, that's exactly what happened. I'm done. I don't have a single major key left for me to get. I'm done. And Bone to me was that breath of fresh air that somebody else, I get to share that moment when Alec pulled out his Bone. I don't laugh. You're all laughing. I got my wife laughing.
At least it is a funny comic.
Let me. Y'all need to grow up. When he
trying to get me kicked off YouTube
earlier,
when he pulled out the Bone book, and I sat there, and when he pulled it out, the first thing I said on watch it was, "Oh my God, you got it!"
I can't believe how small it is.
Because that's something that he's been wanting for so long. And we've talked about it privately. We've talked about it publicly. We've talked about it privately.
This is
about his Bone.
This is like the greatest pun episode ever.
I got one question.
A great.
Yes.
You bought that book.
Is it about my bone?
For this
When he pulled out the bone, was it an older one that he has to dust it off?
It was one of those.
We're talking about your bone.
Well-used bone.
He pulled out
this bone. This bone is preserved.
Is it experienced?
It is in a CGC case, so it is rock hard.
It is very stiff.
Oh,
it is there. But when you pull your Grail out and you actually pull out, when you do what you got to do, Alex.
Was it in Mylar?
There, and we're up against the
I double bagged it.
You gotta make sure you use protection.
2 mil sleeve.
I want.
Where's Woodard when you need him?
Let me chime in here.
I prefer to put my bone in the fullback.
Hey, who's on first? Anyway, let's get back into the chat.
Abbott and Costello.
We still got Joe Ryan Comics says, "Nice bone, please, White Will me." There you go, Joe Ryan. I love it. We still got TJ the Slap Dragon Watson, Andy King in the chat, Chris Barrett, Marvel Hunter, Chris Barrett again and again. I love it. So, your advice, Bear Island, to the new collectors out there. Does he have sound?
Nice bone.
I think I did.
Awesome. Real quickly, can I just say, if you think seeing my bone was something, you wait till you see the hunt next week.
You know what they say about guys with the big beards.
Alec, I work in TV news, and that's what we call a tease.
Yes. TJ says my bone is a 9.
Dude, you and Chuck Connors would, man. What are you gonna do?
The best part is that JD launched that nuke, and then he tells us all to grow up.
All right, so we do have to talk about something very important.
Besides Bear Island.
Wait, did Bear Island even tell us?
Get used to it, man. That's the way it goes. Anyway, go ahead, Bear Island.
Unlimited.
I'll try to be quick. I'm still learning how to collect, but I feel like I'm sort of figuring it out. But it just takes a while to at first I just wanted everything. I wanted to read everything, and of course you can't read everything, and you fall way behind, and you're spending way too much money, way too much money on comic books. I think my pull was like 35 books at one point. Mm-hmm. Now it's 6. So, but you realize you figure out which characters you like. You go after that. But collect what you like is not a cliche. It's true. It's a real thing.
Cat,
so if you want to go after books, you go after the ones you like.
Bear, I think that's 100% correct. And that's
hey, let Cat talk.
Collect what you like, love what you collect. Hippie collectibles, circa 2011, right there. What do you think, Cat Wren?
100%. I don't get into this book's going to be a big thing. I don't get all the number ones when they come out. I don't get all the events when they come out. Clearly, there are certain characters that I've attached myself to that I do love. Shout out to DC fans. Wonder Woman is my girl. Starfire is also my girl. And
George Perez is your guy.
Yeah. But I'll tell you, definitely find find what calls to you in a book. If it's an artist that you're like, I'm really interested to see more of his work. If it's a writer who you check out one of his things, you're like, this is great. Or if it's a character or a team, just find what you love and you know, collect what you love, do what you want to do, and have fun with it. Otherwise, you're just going to end up with really expensive pieces of paper and not a collection. You're just going to have stuff.
Oh, hey, can I make an observation? And this is kind of, I wanted to say this when JD said he didn't collect or purchase any what were those mystery boxes?
Yeah.
And then you went on to tell us how many you purchased. So something that I found out that I found very funny. I was looking at Diamond's previews and for what they're selling, and a lot of times these collector's boxes, you're getting all these trades, but they're buying the trades from Diamond directly at $1.50 a book, and even though it says $20 value, they only paid $1.50 because Diamond's trying to get rid of them. So be careful when you're buying those and do your research on them, because a lot of those trades are garbage. Just want to give you a heads up on that, because I
couldn't.
Well, I was gonna say the same thing about like every book in there that has a $4 cover price that you can't
in the next week
you can find in a 50-cent bin. Like it's a $4 value book. It's $4 cover price, but there's no way if you go into a shop you're spending $4 for it.
Yeah.
Be very careful, people out there, with the some of these gimmick boxes, because they will freaking get you, so always kind of be on the lookout and do your research. I remember one of the things, that I learned from Houdat and some of those guys were always just have patience, do the research, and then, good things will come, as long as you have that patience, man, what Batgirl's first appearance might fall in your lap or something.
Adam put it perfectly. It's gambling. Like, you can't look at it any other way. Sometimes you're going to lose.
And with those Spider-Man booth boxes, they have the little sticker on those variants that tell you how much you're supposed to think they're worth. But go on eBay, look it up, know what you're getting. Don't like that's what they put on it when they maybe first gotten it, but maybe it's down to like half that price now.
And the only reason I say
to get in one of my live streams too, when I opened up Spider-Man booth box, I looked up a bunch of the books that said the prices, and I was like, some of them just weren't those prices. But
yeah, not anymore.
It's fine. Like, whatever, like I understand that it's gambling, so if I don't get my value, it's next time maybe I will.
But the retail prices that they're giving you, right?
But I guess the main reason I wanted to bring it up and just say be cautious what you're doing is I had a very good friend who was at one point part of a show that I was on, and he got into a really bad bind because he started getting addicted to it, to the hunt, to buying. And he had some tragedies in his life, and it really almost cost him, his house, his car. I mean, fortunately for him, he's rebounded since, and it can become, I don't know, addictive. And sometimes people take, sometimes people manipulate. I'm in cells, we do it all the time. You have to. You got to play your cards and try to get the best bang for your buck. And unfortunately, sometimes you do step and take advantage of people. And I hate to say it, it happens in the comic book world. So
I mean, I secretly hope that I don't win the hunt this week, because I am literally going broke trying to.
It doesn't have to be a key.
I know.
That's a new thing. That's you bring it back to the Horseman.
I didn't spend that much money this week. I didn't spend bone money.
I don't. I do have a CGC box that just apparently it's here. It was.
Can we talk about this contest?
Yeah.
Sure.
I say yes.
I was going to do an unboxing if you want. Do you want an unboxing or contest? I could do a
contest.
Let's talk about
an unboxing on your show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're gonna do an unboxing.
All right, guys. I know.
I mean, you can make your own video about an unboxing.
We are in the middle of a contest to go to Comic-Con. In the upcoming weeks, we have some special guests from Mark, the founder and creator of the Baltimore Comic-Con. I think he's going to be on with us next week, along with possible.
That was perfect.
Fusion.
What's that?
Mark was just shaking his head. No.
Oh, not you, Mark. The other
Not-
one.
Not you, Mark.
Hungry.
It's like I have to talk.
But
Nope.
we're going to have some guests coming up. We may be actually extending the contest for maybe even a third and fourth place winners. We're definitely doing the first and second place as of right now. But you got to get those videos in. And I think we said this last night. It doesn't matter if you are on a show with any of us. You can do a video.
Everybody is eligible for the entry.
As long as you sub this channel.
Right.
up.
The only people that are not going to be considered part of it are the people that are voting. And obviously, I'm out and Chad's out.
Well,
So-
I booked my hotel months ago, so
Yeah. Well, let's make Alec out too. Sorry, Alec, you can't win.
And
But
John's Comics and Kids, he's eligible.
yeah, any-
I just
everybody
checked
is
my Hopper
in.
today, and the flight is only $208 round trip. So I might go ahead and just buy a flight, just in
but
case.
we want you all at Baltimore Comic Con, and we're all planning on being there, and it's going to be fun. We're going to have a booth. We're going to be interviewing a lot of people. We're going to be doing on the spot interviews. We're going to be having a good time, and one of the best thing is that I want to challenge Cat Ryan and everybody else is going to be doing this. We'll be cosplaying, and I absolutely was originally going to be Doctor Strange, but I don't know now.
no deal.
Now there's more out there. And I want Alec to I think everybody in core should have a costume as backup. If you don't cosplay normally, at least wear a shirt like Jamie does.
And then
I'm,
also,
I have horns that I'm
I-
wearing, and
I have
he's
to,
got 2 cosplays that he's
I-
doing.
If
Oh,
that's
yeah.
the case, I have to announce my retirement from the Comic Con.
No, you don't have
Nope.
to cosplay. You can drop this yourself, and you can.
No,
but,
you don't get out.
but a couple things on that we also can announce. We have partnered with Heroes Initiative, so we will be doing a lot of exclusive interviews with artists and creators that they are bringing to the show. Also, Discovery Bay.
I
will
agree,
be-
Jason. Sorry.
Discovery Bay will also be doing a live game show from our booth one day, and we're just gonna get a couple more things lined up, and I know Chuck Load is going to be there, so we've got some really great and cool people going to be there, and we're going to have a blast, and I can't wait to see some of these videos.
Yeah, and
Can I ask
please,
a practical question real quick?
Yeah.
yes,
As someone who plans to enter this contest,
yes.
when is the deadline relative to when someone would need to book all these things, the flight, the hotel, etc.?
July 4th
You know, when?
weekend.
Yeah, we're gonna give you guys enough time to where you get the discounts on the price for the longevity, so it's not a want to get away sort of fee. I think we said July 4th weekend. Is
Yeah.
that across the board? We said a July 4th weekend, and the best thing about this is it's not about hunting with us or anything else. It's being with us, because I will tell you this: hanging out with these guys in person is way the same as what you see right now. We all,
I'm way more awkward in person. Ask Caleb.
Alec is a lot taller.
He is not.
According to everybody, Comic Smurf and everybody who I spoke to who met Alec, the White Whale Comics at MegaCon, Alec is much taller than everybody thought.
He was smiling on Instagram. He was smiling.
And
How tall did you think I was?
No, the average height, the fact that you towered over, it's not a height thing. Let's not measure your bones now.
we'll put it this way: something else will happen that will go down in infamy, and you guys will end up talking about it. Just like I got this giant dragon tattoo on my back, and I don't know how it happened.
Oh, I thought you were talking
You're
about
welcome,
Gary.
Chad.
Dude.
I thought it was before.
So, I mean, there's
Boy with the dragon tattoo.
it's on my back.
Dude, I'll get a Comic Core tattoo.
No,
Your lower back, just
it's right above my butt. I think they call it a tramp stamp.
I wish I was 6'5",
Yes, we
kind
do.
of just explained.
Open an ashtray holder that night.
But
Look at this! Look at this tall guy I'm standing next to.
Oh,
That Bear Island, and then we're getting photobombed by some crazy lady in the background. and I'm wearing my
You did
Larfleeze
a good
shirt.
job.
Got my
Yeah,
Larfleeze going on too.
I
Dude, you
definitely
like grabbed me, like I barely said hello, and you're like, "Come here, give me a hug."
How tall are you, Bear?
That's how I am
Adam.
with everybody.
How
I'm
tall are you?
6'3".
Oh man, you win.
Legends. I can remember us picking up Legend at the airport, and he's coming down the escalator, and everybody's screaming for him, and these people are just looking at him like, "Who in the fuck is this guy?"
Yeah.
They
He's
didn't
famous.
have a clue. They didn't have
What?
a clue, but when I left Chicago, they did. You know.
One person recognized me at MegaCon.
Oh,
Really?
snap,
yeah, I got
that's sweet.
recognized too. It was actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's kind of what we're looking forward to doing. Let's get these videos up and running. We'll promote. We're going to be throwing out the Chuckload video a couple more times to show everybody. Throw it on Instagram. I'm done. If you guys are, we can.
Big shout out to Pocan Joe for doing. Please sub him up. Please, he did a great video. He's just killing it right now. He's been on a tear of being Pocan Joe, and it's somebody that I just want to give a shout out to right now.
Okay, well that he'll
Great,
be at
great.
Baltimore with us as
He
well.
will
and,
be at Baltimore,
and he is
armed
batshit
and ready.
and he is batshit crazy.
Armed and ready.
I mean,
the best way,
literally,
though.
he is batshit crazy.
That's a good.
And-
That's
He's
a good
awesome,
man.
though.
Right there. It's a good man.
He is a very
so
great man.
much
We had
fun,
some good
though.
chats those late nights, didn't we, JD? Me, you, Pocan. We were staying up late, weren't we?
You guys tried to take my
Yeah.
phone away from me because I got all emotional and started calling drunk. I was a
Yeah, well,
basic
you-
bitch
you-
making phone calls.
You needed your phone taken away from you more than one time.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I did.
We have
Oh yeah,
Yes.
multiple times you were
120
taken away from
extra
you.
White Castles that we didn't need.
Those White
Dude,
Castles.
how can you let White Castle
Wallet
go to
was taken
waste,
away
bro?
from
How can you say you don't need
120
White
White
Castle?
Castles is enough for 6.
Those things will last in the dash of your car for like 3 days.
Chad, you have to
For
remember.
real. In
Chad.
Florida, they're always
Yeah.
warm, bro.
So you have to remember your wallet was taken away from you at one point in time.
What?
Yeah,
Okay,
he was
okay.
trying to hang out with those triads
Full,
in the
full
Chinese.
story. Full story. We went to go get pizza,
Hanging out with the hand or what?
and everyone gives Chad cash, and he's just going to pay with his card. Well, he forgets and then leaves his card at the restaurant or whatever because we paid, and then we went to go get something, and we're stopped outside of a Target in Chicago, and he's like, I can't find my card. So he immediately starts ripping everything out of his wallet and just setting it on top of our rental car, and cards and just everything is flying everywhere. I'm just grabbing a hold of it.
There was a condom from 8th grade.
There was stuff
Yep. And
everywhere.
it was used. It
I was
was
gonna
used.
say,
And
is that
I
sentimental?
didn't give it back to him until later on.
Yeah, that was his first.
That's what it needs. That's what it, hey, as Spectre's
Very-
watching,
very,
that's what Chad needs
and
to
his
put in
last.
the Mylar and in the fullback right there.
Yeah, you need
It'll
to get that
last the
slab
time.
right
It'll last
away.
forever.
You need to get that first condom slab.
Slab it, man.
Oh boy.
All right, so if you don't experience insanity like that, please sign up for the contest. If you don't even hit it, I want to see some videos this week. Has anyone even made a video
Is
yet?
it gonna be Airbnb? I've made like little excerpts leading up to my video on my Instagram story. But is it gonna be like Airbnb status again or what? Like, can we all be in the same house?
Yeah.
Well, there is a house and there will be hotels.
Okay.
I'm already in a hotel, so
I'm saying I can sleep in the floor. I got an air mattress.
We don't need people that are uppity, so you're fine.
That's why I'm staying by myself. Hello.
We found this really, really cool
Oh,
Airbnb,
no.
and I will
Yes.
make a video of it and put it up this
Nope.
week.
Hourly
Okay.
rates.
Nope. If it's the house, if it's
It
the
has
house
to have a
already
torture
mentioned-
chamber in the basement.
No,
'cause I
dude,
gotta
it
do
had
something like that.
7 stripper poles.
It had
Oh,
black
that's
lights
pretty
too.
cool. I've
It
got a
was
bad
really awesome.
experience.
I
with a
already
stripper
told
pole,
you,
dude.
Chad. I'm not getting murdered in Baltimore.
There was a
you
folding
know
Well,
chair.
I
with
don't think
a-
I don't think that Airbnb is going to be the do or don't for that statement. It's Baltimore.
We just survived Chicago, bro. I think Baltimore.
That's where the wire was shot, you guys.
Yeah, but Baltimore is no joke.
We left the doors unlocked in Chicago.
Yeah, we didn't even realize that. We were like, "Come on in." We were.
Yeah, I walked her. I kicked the
We
door
had
down
a
and walked
guy
right in.
walk into the house
There was
to
a
use the bathroom.
Like I would walk around Southie in Boston all night long before I walk around in Baltimore.
Man, I'm from Detroit, and I don't want nothing to do with Baltimore.
No,
but you're making a video, right?
Oh hell yeah! I'm saving it till
I'm dumb enough to walk around anywhere at night. So
that's why I booked the hotel that has the walkway to the convention center.
Oh yeah, that one's pretty cool.
That's
Nice.
nice. That's nice.
Well, now that we've insulted like 5 major cities in the U.S., it's a good time to sign off, I think. So we'll go through some final thoughts here and final shout-outs and what's going on in each and every one of your channels. So we'll start with Bear Island. Bear Island, what's going on in your channel, in your neck of the woods?
I have a contest that's still going on. The Royal Guard contest, where you pretend you're king or queen and you pick 7 people to protect you, 7 characters from any medium. Sorry, go ahead, Caleb. What?
Can I give you mine right now?
No.
Gotta make a video.
You don't actually have to make video. You can do the comments or whatever, but it only counts as 1, and if you do a video, it counts as 2.
I already started the
Anyway.
video, so I might as well.
Dude, I cannot wait. Dude, it has been amazing so far. Some of the entries have just been like knock you over funny.
One book to do my final character.
I'm trying to get people who don't normally do contests and convince them to do it. Like, I understand why some people don't do it, but I think this is like a fun thing for the community. I'm going to up the ante with a new prize that I'll announce this week, and I hope people consider entering. It's a fun thing just to come up with 7 characters, superheroes, anybody, any characters that exist to protect you as king or queen. So enter my contest.
Yeah, to kind of piggyback off how fun.
Swearingen's gonna be my hand.
To pick up a little bit on what you were just saying about how fun it is for the community. John named me the Hound on his list, so that was pretty cool.
All right, awesome. What about you, Caleb? What's going on the Comic Smurf Network?
You can look forward to StoryCorps on Mondays, of course. And
that is a copywritten name. It is Story Comic Corps, to be clear.
Story Comic Corps.
Don't want to get sued.
Yeah, but StoryCorps is 1 word, not 2. So can they sue you still? You gotta say
pronounced
StoryCorps. But no, anyways, yeah, I'm gonna be on Story Comic Corps on Monday nights, and I'm gonna be doing some contest entries.
Awesome, man.
Awesome. What about you, JD? What's going on JD's channel?
JD is going to put more content on his channel. He does have a ton of unboxings eventually to do. I actually haven't opened up CGC boxes. They're sitting here as I wait for the last one of the bunch to do that. I have a contest winner contest. I have a contest drawing that's coming up for the Planet Comic-Con contest with all the Planet Comic-Con comic books, as well as the C2E2 comic books coming out. And that's the main thing on my channel. But I am a part of Golden Guys coming up. We'll have the permanent member Paul joining us. Paul, Midwest Comics, will be joining us the next week. And a huge shout out to the Unlimited crew for last week. We have a lot more on the way. And I do have another guest to announce. I might as well say it. Metarog will be on
Damn.
Nice.
Golden Guys this week.
Awesome.
Metarog
About
will be-
time.
Roger and I, we've been talking a little bit, and we're friends, and we were sitting there saying, I really want you to get you on the Golden Guys. We're going to focus in on a different part of the Golden Age that a lot of people haven't talked about, including us. But we're also going to be doing there. I will be part of the Unlimited crew, and I'll be watching all your guys' stuff. But my channel will be ramped up eventually. I just got to get some stuff in order.
That sounds awesome. Betterog, he's definitely one of the most knowledgeable, best people in the whole community. So that's a good get for that show. I can't wait for that one. But next up, we got the natural Whitewell Comics. What can we look forward to on Whitewell Comics?
I'm still not used to that name, so it took until you said Whitewell Comics. I was like, oh, he's not talking about me. I've got Story Comic Core on Monday, one of the last 2 episodes of the current format. We're going to blow through the rest of Y, and then it's going to be an unrecognizable show, so get ready.
Awesome.
Because
Let's runs.
what's
Run-
that? No,
Parks and runs.
you don't even know.
I don't even know.
No,
We're
it's
tearing
gonna
up
be.
the house.
It's unrecognizable. It's a
Gonna make me pour another
total remodel.
Total gut job.
Total make me pour another drink.
Wednesday night it is going to be book club without John. It's just going to be Chris from I Got Issues and myself reading Usagi Yojimbo. And I joked with him that it's just going to turn into an episode of Comics is Therapy. So we'll see how that goes. It's going to be fun either way. And then next Friday, watch me retain my championship on the hunt.
Hey now.
Shots fired.
Listen, I keep my cool. When you call me Yella, we're going out to the streets.
I'm bringing something that is, boy. Just watch out.
Caleb's going all Deadwood on you here.
Those guys
I'm the
don't
dollar
want
bin
none.
bandit.
But since I was robbed, I wasn't really robbed. I'm moving.
You're
Since
gonna get robbed again.
Since I'm moving, I don't have time to make any content lately. So it's just live streams for a couple of weeks, and then I'm probably going to be MIA from YouTube for a bit.
Can you hurry up with your move? Because I like seeing those books behind you, please.
I do too. I miss them.
I miss.
I didn't even have a chance to display my bone.
No, your bone has never been.
Oh!
It's back to his bone.
You'll get another chance, trust me.
That's a good question, Chris Barrett. But anyway, we're going to Catrin Figures next. How are you guys doing? Is everything all right over there?
Great.
Yeah. Definitely feel 300 pounds lighter. I think some of the guys on the panel get that reference. Yeah, I have a lot of things planned. I'm currently working on a really big project for Cinema Figures that will start
You can't say anything
next month. I'm not going to kind of spoil that, but look out for something very big on that channel. Catrin Figures, I got a lot of reviews to catch up on. I got another Midtown order that just came in. A lot of craziness. What about you, Bob?
I'm going to eat more.
Okay.
Awesome. We're so proud of you, Mark.
He's used to be like the random scraps being thrown in his cage, so he gets hungry over there.
Carson, it's okay. It's okay.
All right, glad to hear you're all right. Next up, we got the Great Legend Show. What's going on with the Great Legend?
Man, the Great Legend is having a good time, just chilling like a villain on penicillin, to quote my good brother Trinity Entertainment, Jeremy. But man, I've just been enjoying life, hanging out. The best part of some of my days is just getting online, chatting with everybody, whether that be through the live chats or leaving comments on people's videos, or just watching, sharing, subscribing, liking, checking on people, seeing what they're up to, and just having a good time. And then on my own channel, I did some information about the contest the Comic Core is having a couple nights ago. I think it was, I don't know, it was like 3 a.m. I couldn't sleep, so I was like, I'm just gonna go live and have some fun. So check that out if you want to hear some good freestyle. I was dropping some rhymes.
Yeah, the whole beginning of it,
there.
dude.
It was pretty awesome. I had it's just one of those things, you get you kind of take a step back from YouTube, and then you get back on YouTube, and it's like you're riding a bike, and you've never forgotten how to do it. So those are always fun, but the funnest part is just coming together on Friday nights. You work to hard Monday through Friday work week. It's kind of like, it really does. This show on Friday night on Comic Core reminds me of the old show called Cheers, where everyone just comes together, talks about what's been going on through the week, what they've been reading, what they're excited for. And man, it is so much fun, and I appreciate it every time I get to hang out with my good brothers and sister from the Comic Core.
Awesome. Well, hopefully everything's all right over there with JD. But anyway, I guess I'll shout out my one thing I got going on my channel. And we'll turn it over to Chad since he has that on-off switch. But I just got done.
It's June 14th. God.
Yes.
June 14th, great day to be alive. Carson, what do you got going on your channel, Carson?
I just finished filming my final part to my signature series. So
Nice.
we get to see what's going on the wall. I just got to edit it, and hopefully I'll have it out at some point this weekend. So I got that done, and then probably about not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday we'll be doing the Tuesday night live stream to wrap up the month. So already halfway through, already a lot of good stuff to talk about. So yeah, it's pretty much all that's going on my channel. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Chad. Chad, sign us out.
Chad, before we go out, I want to ask White Whale a question. June 14th, 1987, Mets Phillies.
Mhm.
We're enjoying a beautiful afternoon in the right field stands when a crucial Hernandez error to a 5-run in the ninth cost the Mets the game. Do you remember that game?
Yeah, Billy Buckner.
Our day was ruined. The spit had to come from another spitter.
Gone too soon. Died last week.
No, yeah, that's from Seinfeld.
It's a 32nd anniversary of the spit heard around the world.
Yeah.
Mm.
Back and to the left. Back and to the left.
So over on my channel, I don't have a channel. It's just the Comic Core. But guys, make sure you get the contest videos in there. You never know. You might get a diamond.
Day was ruined.
And we'll do something. Guys, Stings in the Rafters. Let's get out of here. Peace. Good night. God bless.